Welcome back, everyone, to the third race of this Myteam career mode. As you can see, there's the standings, and with what happened in the simulation, somehow Guan Yu Zhou won the race, but the guys that were actually in the top 10 didn't score points in that simulation. And as you can see, I haven't upgraded any facilities yet as we approach the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. There is our special livery, the Italian flag flying on our car there. You can see getting preparations for the race, not much changing, you know, just gonna go straight out there and start driving immediately. Set my first lap, turn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, all amazing turns. I love this sector, absolutely love it. It's so hard to perfect. As you can see, I go a little bit wide there and I missed the braking point into turn 5. This is quite a tricky turn. As you can see, I go wide because I messed up the entry there into that corner. Same again here, I carry way too much speed. I continue on though. Excuse that corner cutting. Here I have a little Leclerc moment there. Thankfully not hitting the wall. Managed to keep the wheels on the track and not in the wall. But I continued on with my lap. And it's not going to be a good one, as you know, those two moments give me a 118.4, and we go for our second run, cutting it straight into turn 1-2 as I go over the sausage curbs and I go onto the grass. So I just skip straight into the next lap here. Go wide. There's so much understeer. This car is an absolute boat to drive, and there's not enough downforce, and I can't wait to get this car upgraded. So I dip the tyre into the gravel there, Sergio Perez style, and I'm 4 attempts down, so I bought this lap. Going on to the last lap, going into turn 1 and 2 there, already down on my time, losing motivation to carry on for the rest of this lap, but moving on. It's okay, it's fine, you know, as I mess up there a little bit, go incredibly slow, lose almost a tenth there. You got to be careful not to touch that curve on the inside and start accelerating when you do so, because spin out very easily and lost a lot of time there. Also going up here, Aqua Mineral I think it's called, going a bit wide, going over the sausage curve, making me lose so much time, and this is where I'm going to gain my time because of that little moment that I had. As you can see, I gained 5 temps, over 5 temps actually into that. And here I just decide, you know what, not worth it, I'm not going to get anywhere with that time, and I just give up the lap and stop on track just to gain enough ERS to go again for a second lap. Perez overtakes me on the straight here, which is quite frustrating. I mean, I'm already down on my time. You give me a little bit of a slipstream. I kind of miss a braking point a little bit because can't really see because of Perez. He's in the way there, and I'm already 3.5 tenths down. So it's already been a shaky start. And here we go, getting to the next section. Perez distracting me. I dip my tyre into the gravel, and that's another spin. That's another spin for the Citroën F1 team. I look at the mini-map, don't see Verstappen coming, and he just plows into me. He just plows into me, and that's another retirement, and that's the standings there. And that's going to be the grid for the sprint. But oh my goodness, he just plowed straight into me.
Many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Russell, Max Verstappen and Hamilton, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo, Magnussen, Gasly, Esteban Ocon and Tsunoda, Stroll, Mick Schumacher, Guan Yu Zhou and Sebastian Vettel, Latifi, Albon, Oscar Piastri, and the owner driver. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
So here we are on the grid for the sprint, coming straight to the formation lap. Just going to go ahead and start warming up my tyres. Takes a long time because being at the back of the grid, you know, everyone has to go first. You can see me just revving up the car. Very eager to get going, obviously. You don't want to do something stupid. As you can see Piastri showcasing our livery there on the left-hand side. Not really showcasing, but repping it, essentially. And he set a quicker time because I only got one time in there, and obviously the DNF as well. And this is an issue here. I messed up this parking and I went way too quick and I just, yeah, got red and yeah. But anyway, it's lights out and away we go here in the sprint in Imola, or whatever the big names it has, and we get past Oscar Piastri. It's a great start. Also Albon as well. There are Vettel on the right hand side. I have to go on the grass to avoid Latifi as track was occupied by Vettel and Latifi. I get past him eventually and I get a legal overtake on Vettel, so I have to give that position back. As you can see, Latifi going past me and then Vettel finally, and then Piastri there is on my tail and I have a hill to climb now, and I have to chase after Vettel there. He makes a move on the inside on Latifi. He tries to make an overtake. He sticks around on the inside there. Latifi has the quicker traction, the better traction now, as I try to dive bomb to have a little look at Vettel there on the inside, but he shuts the door on me very, very quickly. And the straight line speed of this car throughout this Grand Prix was absolutely awful. As you can see there, showcases straight onto lap 4. Vettel just absolutely flying past me, even though I'm using ERS, DRS. I go ahead and dive bomb him here on the inside, and he leaves no room. I try to cut the corner, he leaves no room, and I've spun again, and he's caused me to have wing damage. I'm stopped on the track thinking these cars are just going to drive past, and it ends up bringing out the safety car. So I end up pitting for softs because obviously it's a sprint race. If you any chance you get to pit onto softs, you might as well take it. As you can see, we've got an optimal turn in here, and we kind of double stacked there, almost ran over my mechanic. That would not have been good because then, and they're not even out. The mechanics aren't even out, and they've cost me so much time there. It's a very, very quick pit stop, 2.0, 2 tenths quicker than what it's supposed to be, and back to the start. And this is the safety car restart. That was Leclerc there, and it's not ending yet, but gotta love these broadcast views. It's a great feature that's added. And you can see Leclerc, Perez. Look at that lovely angle. Now with the safety car restart underway, Oscar Piastri gets very far ahead of me. He gains 6 tenths immediately on the safety car restart as I was caught napping, but I ended up getting ahead of him and, making a move already, because you got to make the move very quickly. Only 2 laps to go. Oscar Piastri hangs around on my outside though. He brakes early and he concedes a position to me and I stay ahead. And Albon and Latifi, they are fighting. I go around the outside and go very wide. Sorry, Alonso, not Latifi. Latifi's actually ahead. I get an overtake, a legal overtake, but Alonso just overtakes me straight away and I stay ahead anyway. Latifi, I try to make a dive bomb here. He gives me no room. I thought he wouldn't give me no room, so I cut the curb a little bit there, hopped over those curbs, got the elbows out there. I go very wide as I'm catching Vettel very, very quickly and rapid pace here, going up into the uphill section. Got Guan Yu Zhou ahead of Sebastian Vettel. As you can see, I'm going to go on the grass, make a Sebastian Vettel-esque move and get Guan Yu Zhou in the process. It's a great overtake and he hopped over the curb. So I go a little bit wide, but I get a move done on Vettel and both Guan Yu Zhou. Alexander Albon now retiring after his engine went up in smokes here, and I'm very far away, but Guan Yu Zhou is catching up to me, and he will be very close to me in his next lap. In this last lap, it's going to be a big important last lap as I dip my tyres into the gravel there, or the grass. As you can see, Guan Yu Zhou is going to be on my outside here. I don't give up the position. Guan Yu Zhou doesn't either, but he has to concede the position as I was ahead. We cut to the end of the lap now, to the end of the race, sorry. You can see Alex Albon there, parked up on the side. Lance Stroll, I'm not going to get ahead of Lance Stroll, unfortunately, this lap. I was pushing a lot. I was pushing very hard, but Lance Stroll stays ahead.
Welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters wearing red today, and they've all turned out for what we're expecting will be a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. One lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most Formula One circuits, will take our drivers round 3.1 miles of track. 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 to the left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin at turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that stretch. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Verstappen, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Bottas, Ricciardo, Gasly, Tsunoda, and Kevin Magnussen, Ocon, Mick Schumacher, the owner driver, and Russell, Joe, Vettel, Nicholas Latifi, and Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Norris. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So as you can see, a few people had penalties there. Lando Norris, he also DNF'd in the sprint race. George Russell had a penalty, so he's ended up going behind me. And I've been promoted a few places up to P13. So I think it was just 2 places. You can see Schumacher on my right-hand side and Russell also on my hand side, the right-hand side even. And he's in a much quicker car, and we're not going to hold him up. So whenever he catches up, just going to let him go to, you know, not compromise my race, because, you know, I'm not really fighting Mercedes. I'm not really fighting at the front. There's no point in holding him up. So I'll just be holding up my own race. You know, I'm fighting Haas, I'm fighting Aston Martin, I'm fighting Williams, all those backmarker teams. You know, and checking for weather, because, you know, Imola, it can change very, very quickly. You know, it's very long formation lap as well, very boring. Stuck behind a Haas. Honestly, it looks a lot better, and it's kind of strange to see, to say that Haas isn't even the worst team and a backmarker team in Formula One, and it is kind of crazy. And honestly, Mick Schumacher is also one of those transfer targets that I have been looking at. I have been looking at signing Mick Schumacher. I am very tied between a few drivers, and I will discuss that more when it comes to the season break, the summer break in game. And yeah, so as you can see, lining up on my grid slot, a few burnouts to get the tyre temperatures up, because as I mentioned in the past 2 races, they are a hell to, you know, light up and get the right temperatures in there. But we're going to start as the last few cars round the grid, and we will soon come to lights out. And here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we go green and we go lights out, and away we go. Schumacher gets off well. I get off a little bit better as I'm quicker. I turn on the ERS to try and make an early overtake here, almost dipping my tyres into the grass there as I get ahead of him into this corner as he brakes early. He stays around the outside though. He goes over the sausage curbs. I stay ahead. Now focusing the race on Magnussen here as he has a little moment there on that exit. And Schumacher's still there behind me in the rearview mirror, as you can see. Magnussen looking to make up places also in that Haas car as I make the move, and I try to make the move on Ocon, but he just slams the door on me and almost makes contact. I have to back out of that, and I check for damage because I thought we made contact. But look at the Haas. Look at the Haas. The Haas is so quick. And George Russell makes the move on Magnussen also along me. And I kind of hit Magnussen there on the back, which is why I checked for damage again. But George Russell is already past. Magnussen now on the right-hand side has to give up the position now. I'm ahead. And that was my corner. As you can see now, I'm ahead of Magnussen. And Russell was ahead, and he will be making up places very, very quickly. And he is not ours to chase. Although, he is actually very slow through this section. I was a little bit quicker, but the Mercedes pace is just absolutely off the charts compared to us.
focus now for the rest of the race.
But turning our attention back to Magnussen here, he has the quickest car. Look at that. He has an insane straight line speed. No DRS either. He almost comes across there and almost takes me out on the straight. But there we go. I stay ahead. Beautiful defending from me to keep Magnussen behind, keep Magnussen at bay, and I stay ahead into this next lap and these next few laps also. And got to be chasing Ocon here to get into the points. So I have a little moment there, and that means Magnussen is going to have another go at me where he did last time, where George Russell had a go at me. He's going on the outside this time, as he did last time. I stick around on the inside. I brake as late as I could. Magnussen is still there. Is he going to go on the? He's going to go on the inside. He backs out straight away. He almost backs up into Schumacher and causing a collision there. But Magnussen keeping well on my gearbox, but I'm doing very well to defend from him, but losing a lot of race pace due to this battle. But I keep checking my vehicle condition due to the battles that I've had, and they've caused a few contacts, and I've always thought that my my wing had damage due to the invisible wing damage, glitch that we had in F1 2021. You can see Magnussen is still there, and he's not going to catch up until next lap, unfortunately. So as you can see, this is the restart. Charles Leclerc getting off absolutely brilliantly away from Sergio Perez in P2. Max Verstappen there in P3 or 4, I think. And Carlos Sainz gets away well, but Leclerc is fully ahead. You can see Leclerc is fully ahead, and in the background you can't really see much going on. But Leclerc, as you can see, Daniel Ricciardo get a move there. Charles Leclerc though, already taking a commanding lead, just like Max Verstappen did in the first race, Bahrain. He gets off very, very well, and Max Verstappen really needs to be winning this race because he needs to keep his form up due to the championship, which can be handed out by anyone at this point. In the top 4, including Sainz, Perez, Verstappen, Leclerc, it could be between any of them, and I wouldn't say this is the pivotal race for it, but it can very well be if either of these drivers have a bad race. See, Perez can't keep up with that Ferrari, and that's the same with that Ferrari. The Ferrari can't even keep up with that Red Bull, as in Sainz can't keep up with Perez. But looking down the grid, there's not a lot happening here. I think that was Albon trying to make a move on Sebastian Vettel, but he couldn't make it there. As you can see, Oscar Piastri there having a little battle with one of the Aston Martins. And honestly, the Williams looks very racy. As you see, that's Latifi there. And the Williams don't even look too bad in the race. It looks like Albon and both Latifi can make a handful out of that Williams and can really get something out of it. Despite, the Williams not really being too much of a racing car. Especially not now, but back in its glory days. And you can see Leclerc stays ahead, and Leclerc continues dominating this Imola Grand Prix, as it's a home Grand Prix for Ferrari here. It'd be a great result for them, to take victory at home. All the fans are here to celebrate this. This great event. Honestly, I love Imola. It's a great track. As you see now, I think that's Guan Yu Zhou making a move up on the inside of Fernando Alonso. He sticks it though. Yes, that's Fernando Alonso. He sticks it. As you can see me going side by side there with Kevin Magnussen. As someone looks up, I think that may be Mick Schumacher or Magnussen. I'm not entirely sure which one of them, but that was crazy there. See, I did a little slide there going up the hill. That was kind of strange though. I don't know really what happened. I can't remember that. But Fernando Alonso is not giving this up. He is quite a fighter himself, and he is also one of those prospects of being the next signing, the first driver to sign for Citroën F1, excluding Oscar Piastri. As you can see now, we're going into lap number 3 here, and the order stays the exact same as what it started, basically. Only a few positions really changed. Obviously with the retirement. Oh wait, no, sorry, that was a sprint. My apologies. So Leclerc stays ahead. Just about out of DRS, Sergio Perez from Leclerc, and I don't even know if that will last. I don't know if Perez can gain that small little gap there to gain that DRS at the end of the end of the lap. And there goes Pierre Gasly. and he will be fighting with Tsunoda a lot this season. Tsunoda's also won, and Pierre Gasly both targets my team. Here is Magnussen going on the outside here. He kind of just backs out of that a little bit. Lets me go ahead. He almost touched the grass there. I don't know. I didn't see, but that was kind of crazy though. That kind of happened really quickly. As you see, George Russell making a move on Tsunoda, making moves very quickly up the grid compared to where he started. He's got incredible racecraft here. And Tsunoda, getting very easily overtaken. This Pierre Gasly now on the outside by Esteban Ocon, supposed rivals. So I don't even know if Pierre Gasly would want to sign for Alpine if Ocon's their driver. And Ocon there, making a move there in the alternate F1 universe over Pierre Gasly. Now lap 8. And you can see Magnussen is still on my tail. He gets the back outside. I found on the inside, he goes to the outside. You'll see the outside is not a great line, but he sticks it. I go wide a little bit to give him enough room, and I stay ahead. Thankfully, here I have DRS on Esteban Ocon. I'm going to dive on the inside, overtake him. Oh, and he brakes really early, and he's giving me wing damage and underbody damage for the second race in a row. He did the same thing at Jeddah, basically, where he just gave me no room. And he's done it again. Into turn 2, that was, or turn 1. That was absolutely unbelievable. Esteban Ocon is not very good when it comes to staying away from my vehicle. And, you know, and he got some wing damage there also. Only very slightly, I don't affect much. But I stay on the inside. He finally gives me enough room. I don't even know how I found the balls to make that move after that lap 1 incident. He goes on the inside there. And I thought he was about to do the same thing. He's got... I don't know what he's on. I don't know what Alpine are feeding him for breakfast. But that is absolutely ridiculous by Esteban Ocon. And here, he's just going to fly by me. I have no DRS, no ERS. He is gone. That's it. That's points out the window there. And Alonso is making a move on the right-hand side. Is he quick enough? Does he have the grip on the outside? No, he kind of tries to take the line, and I kind of shut the door on him a little bit. As you can see, George Russell making moves now on Valtteri Bottas, just like Imola, that Imola incident. George Russell finally doesn't actually take out a car on this straight, which is quite surprising. And Valtteri Bottas survives to live another day. And Leclerc, that's Leclerc going slow. He was in a commanding lead. What's going on here? It reminds me of Spain in real life. And Baku, he was miles ahead. And he's retiring out of this race with an engine failure. You can't see here. You can see in the cockpit view there, him pulling up to the side. And that's Carlos Sainz that goes ahead. He's up past Sergio Perez. I missed that. I don't know what happened. But now... that's insane. You just saw Oscar Piastri there lock up, and that is Lance Stroll making a move, making amends out of that mistake from Oscar Piastri, and that's poor driving for Oscar. As you can see, now Guan Yu Zhou making a move on Lando Norris. This is absolutely insane, and Lando Norris even gets that move done. Sorry, that was Lando Norris going up the grid there, not Guan Yu Zhou making the move, but Lando Norris sticks it nicely around the outside. Up until Aqua Mineral. As you can see now, speaking of Lando Norris, going to move on Mick Schumacher. He goes on the inside. Mick Schumacher gives him no room, and they make contact. That's the Haas and the McLaren making contact, but Lando Norris stays ahead. Was it worth it though, the contact? Does he have damage? Does Mick Schumacher have damage? I'm not sure. But Lando Norris finally making more moves. You can see Kevin Magnussen riding the sausage curbs. Count on to another lap here, Fernando Alonso. As you can see, Pierre Gasly making a move on the right-hand side of Yuki Tsunoda. As Yuki Tsunoda, he locks up. He locks up and takes Pierre Gasly with him almost into the gravel. And now Fernando Alonso has overtaken Pierre Gasly. And that was insane. That was insane. The two teammates taking almost each other out, just like they did in Silverstone. But not in so much of a similar fashion. But here we go now. Yuki Tsunoda getting pressurized by Fernando Alonso, and this is going to be insane because Yuki Tsunoda has no DRS, but he's going to defend this. He wants his points. He wants the points finish for AlphaTauri, and this would be an incredible result for AlphaTauri considering their poor form in real life. But obviously it doesn't matter. Yuki Tsunoda stays up on the inside of Fernando Alonso, giving him a good fight. Fernando locks up and he goes into the gravel and he's on the sausage curbs and he's reversing. I don't know what the hell he's doing. What's he doing? He just stopped on the side of the track waiting for people to go past, and he's watching the whole points finish go right past him right now. I unfortunately don't get anything out of that. He comes back on the track. He's straight back on. He's straight on it. He doesn't matter. He's back on it. And what a poor move by Fernando. What a poor sequence there for Fernando Alonso, but it doesn't matter. He's back on the charge as he's got Sebastian Vettel in his sights, and he's going to go right, he's going to go left, he's going to stay left, and he's going to go on the inside of Sebastian Vettel here. He's going to push him onto the grass almost there. And Sebastian Vettel has to give that position up due to the fact that Aston Martin is an absolute boat of a car, and it's impossible to drive, and it has so much understeer, and I feel bad for Sebastian Vettel. And it's the man who's taking the seat in real life that has got out ahead of this battle between these two legendary, names in Formula 1. And obviously, I don't even know who's going to retire first in this alternate F1 universe, but we're going to assign one of them eventually to give them a car they deserve. Honestly, I'm thinking of Fernando Alonso, the way he's cutting up the field, and he did in the first half of this race. Honestly, it's absolutely incredible. And, it's very exciting. He's a very excited driver to watch even. And now Kevin Magnussen is on the tail of Sebastian Vettel after losing that position to Fernando Alonso. Kevin Magnussen is going to look to make a move, hopefully within this next lap, as Fernando Alonso is already out of Sebastian Vettel, or should I say Sebastian Vettel's already out of the range of DRS, and now Kevin Magnussen's licking his lips all over Sebastian Vettel's gearbox, because honestly, the Aston Martin car looks beautiful, but what's more beautiful is this overtake that's about to happen from the Haas to the Aston Martin, from P15 to P14, with no points whatsoever, as he makes the move around the left-hand side on the inside of the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin tries to make the little switchback move there work, and he makes it move. Oh my god, Kevin Magnussen's locked up, and Sebastian Vettel stays ahead. But Kevin Magnussen, he's a fighter, he's a Dane. They're known for fighting very well in the past. I don't know about now, because he's lost that position. Sebastian Vettel stays ahead. You can see Lance Stroll, I kind of block him off there, and we make contact, and he spins off a little bit. He saves it well. Got into lap 29, back here with Sebastian Vettel, and Kevin Magnussen is going to make the same move that he made last time. This time he's learned his mistakes. He will not lock up, hopefully. There we go. He's ahead of Sebastian Vettel. This time, Vettel disappointed to not see a mistake from Kevin Magnussen there, but Sebastian Vettel is now ahead. For P14, it doesn't look great, but it's good for an Aston Martin. And very well for Haas as well, considering they were grinding the back of the grid last season. But it's okay. Moving on to lap 30 now. Fernando Alonso is making moves on this grid after that insane mistake where he looked up. And there we go, Fernando Alonso on the right-hand side of Mick Schumacher, touching the grass there a little bit. He knows all of his experience. That is the better line. And there he goes. Mick Schumacher has to give up the position, but he does not. Just like his father, he stays ahead, fighting Fernando Alonso. I don't even think... Did they fight? They might have. Yeah, they did. Sorry about that. Fernando Alonso with fighting Michael Schumacher, his old rival. I don't know if they were rivals, but anyway. So, they're fighting here now. The past and the present. But here we go. Fernando Alonso on Mick Schumacher. Can he make a move work going into the last final lap? Will it be an exciting finish to this Imola Grand Prix? Maybe not so much for me down in P17, but hey, maybe for Fernando Alonso making moves onto Mick Schumacher. Here we go into the last lap. He's got DRS. He's going to go right, and he will stay right. Mick Schumacher hugs the inside line there. Fernando Alonso a little bit of a car length ahead, and they go wheel to wheel. They bang tyres there. They collide a little bit. They make contact. Mick Schumacher decides to give that position up to Fernando Alonso. Obviously, for no points, it doesn't really matter anyway who wins. And Carlos Sainz ran in the last corner, getting a DRS from the back marker. Carlos Sainz is a Grand Prix winner. He wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix ahead of Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. As you can see, the arms out of the pit wall there on the fence. Absolutely livid to see Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz all on the podium as Max Verstappen rear ends Sergio Perez there, obviously for nothing. As the race is now over. But coming back to me, Lance Stroll is there. I defend on the inside. He's still there. Sorry, no, not Lance Stroll. Latifi. Latifi's trying to make a move on me now. He unfortunately has not got the straight line speed. He almost gets me on the line here. I defend on the inside there a little bit, and he cannot get past me. So that's P17. That's stuck there for me. And not a great race, but not an awful one either. But what a great day for Ferrari. It's a win. And Lando Norris grabbing driver today for going from P22 to P10. And what a great race for Ferrari and Carlos Sainz.
Excellent win from Ferrari. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari.
And what a race that is. As you can see, Ferrari reliability moving from real life to the game here as Charles Leclerc retires from leading a race as he was in a commanding lead, and he hands Carlos Sainz that trophy, that #1 trophy, as it is his first in this career mode, and probably many more to come from the Spaniard here. But what a great race. There was a lot of action, a lot of battles in the midfield, and not so much maybe in the top 10. There wasn't a lot going on there, apart from that little sticky moment with Fernando Alonso. He was in the top 10, and he would have made so many more moves up the grid. But unfortunately, you know, with the retirement, that was really unfortunate. But there you go. There's the weekend results, including the sprint and the race. And what a great day for Ferrari. Maybe not so much the Monegasque side, but not a great day for us on the other end of the spectrum, as in total I finished P18 and Oscar Piastri finishing dead last in actually both of the sprints, in both of the races, the sprint and the race, he both finished last. So this is another turntable in the standings, the driver standings and the constructors, and it could go to anyone. And here we go, we're just back at the team HQ here. As you can see, that's the special livery. If you didn't get a glimpse of it in the race or at the beginning of the race, at the beginning of the video, as we're just simming to get a few resource points to upgrade our cars. We're the worst team on the grid on the R&D screen, and we currently can't afford anything but this upgrade. And that was a recommended one by the game, and I just did it because you know, I don't think there was anything else out there, and no reliability stuff there that I could use. And unfortunately, we have to swap out our internal combustion engine, which will, in the long run, will give us a penalty. But it is perfectly fine. I could deal with it. And we have $4.6 million here, so we're going to upgrade a little bit, a few of our facilities, just the cheapest one that we can afford, just to get start upgrading the facilities a little bit. So we're not dead stock, and we're not most certainly the worst team on the grid, so we can just make a little bit of a move up the order. I mean, I'm trying to save for a better driver, which I want you guys to decide in the comments who you think is worthy of the second Citroen seat. Honestly, I'm not bothered as long as they are better than Oscar Piastri and can finish above P22 every race. Because unfortunately, Oscar Piastri is the person who is finishing P22 every race and can't finish any higher than that. But it's okay. Don't do none of these hot laps things. I don't think you guys enjoy that. And see you guys soon for the Barcelona de Catalunya circuit for the 4th round of this Myteam career mode.